Okay, so Jenna, how would you like to play Three Question Thursday?
I would be happy to.
You know what? I want to go back all the way to the beginning of your Bright Line journey because I thought that you had a novel approach.
Hmm.
You may not remember it
I,
because
I
it's been a
don't.
while, but I do because you started with a bright breakfast and
Mm.
then you added to the sequence. You first started with bright breakfasts for a while and then added. Would you recommend that if you were going backwards in time?
Honestly, I don't think it's bad if somebody wants to just try it to get a feel, but that lasted about a week. And I said, no, this isn't working because what I was doing was I would have my breakfast and then was telling myself I can do whatever else I want in the day.
Okay.
And so it wasn't really proving to be a successful model until I was all in.
Okay. Second question. You don't see this coming at all, but I read your posts.
Oh man. Okay.
And I know that you had an episode this week with Elf on the Shelf.
Oh,
Tell me
yes.
about that.
Um, okay, how do I sum this up? So my husband and I have not done Elf on the Shelf. We have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. And um this is a whole other talk, but we really live by a conscious parenting model. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, you can Google conscious parenting. And it's just a very different mindset than what a lot of us grew up with. And so we tread the lines of Santa carefully. We tread all of these lines carefully. And so the thing with the elf is we just didn't want to add another component a few years ago. And we've just had been confident in our decision the past few years. And up until this year, when all of a sudden we're realizing our kids they were feeling so left out. Everybody in their class had an elf but them. And so many of these elves now bring presents like every day.
Don't
Like
do it.
the elf for many has become just as commonplace as Santa. And not every home does gifts. Like, by no means am I suggesting that, but a lot do. And so we had a night where my 5-year-old is in tears and she's saying, I'll never get to experience the magic of the elf as a child. And I mean, you can imagine as a parent, I'm just like, okay. Like, I mean, it was a rough night. It was a rough night. And I shed lots of tears because I'm questioning all the things. And ultimately, my husband and I came up with a plan that we offered to our kids. And we said, okay, we understand the elf has really morphed into a big thing. And so what we are willing to do is get an elf. It's not the store-bought Elf on a Shelf. We actually got it from the dollar store. And the rule is we all get to hide it. We all get to have parts of it. Because there's a lot of other rules with the other elf, like you're not allowed to touch it and you're not like it's watching you and all these things. And we said, okay, this elf is not watching you. It's not reporting to anybody. It's not determining if you're getting Christmas gifts. It's a fun elf that we can have fun in the house. And so we made it our own. And it's been a really fun experience so far. And the kids have really enjoyed being a part of it. And we aren't feeling like we have this whole other weight in addition to our lives this season as well.
Well, that is great.
Yeah, it was wonderful. But it has become fun now in the way that we're doing it.
Well, I have one more question. And Jenna, you brought up living consciously. Okay. Living consciously. That is your namesake for your coaching business.
Yeah.
Living consciously. If there is one step that you would suggest as we go into this busy season, but you know what? I could have the Zoom any month of the year, and I could say that there's a stressor involved. If there's just one thing that you would suggest as an easy way to live a little more consciously, what would it be?
Without giving any thought to other than this moment, the thing that I would say is to ask questions, to ask yourself anytime you are looking to make a purchase or you're looking to participate in an event or you're looking to make a certain choice, ask yourself, why am I doing this? And it will be interesting to see, are you doing it because it's tradition? Are you doing it because you were raised learning this way? Are you doing it because it genuinely brings you joy? Why are you doing this? And that when you start asking those questions, you really start kind of filling in these, gaps of your life and really understanding how you're showing up. Are you showing up in this life in the way that you truly want to be? Or is it because it's kind of what you've been told, this box you had to fit in? And this spans over every single part of your life, whether it's raising children, whether it's a religion that you may be a part of, whether it's certain holiday traditions you participate in, or things with your family. And when you start asking questions, it just helps you really identify more strongly with yourself and what you really believe in as a human and really what you want to bring into this world.
Wow, I think that's powerful. And I think that it really applies to the journey that I am on as far as with Bright Line Eating, and maybe for many others too, just on a day-by-day basis. Today, for example, we had a lunch brought in, and this was one of these days I didn't pack a lunch, and that's always a no-go. Don't do it, Noreen, don't do it. But I didn't do it. And there were fortune cookies, and I really wanted a fortune cookie. And I did something that I did not think I would do. I went up and got a fortune cookie. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I actually asked myself the question as I picked it up, and I'm going back to my seat. And there happened to be a garbage can right there. I opened up the fortune cookie. I cracked it open. I took out the little fortune. Mm-hmm. And I threw the cookie away. Because in that moment, just going back to the chair, I realized what I really wanted was a fortune. And it was a good one. It was like, you're going to have joy in your home. And I'm
awesome.
glad I got it. But it was that split second question. Why did I do that? I have not, number one, I haven't had a cookie in over 3 years. There's a reason for that. I don't know what's on the other side of a cookie. But I wanted that fortune. And I realized it on the way. And so I did have the presence of mind to open it quickly, throw the rest out while everybody's still talking in the meeting. And I had my fortune. I got what I wanted. And I didn't have to put my eating plan in jeopardy to get what I wanted in that moment. So that is really great, Jenna, to just ask questions. I really think it applies to this journey so much.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much. Thank you for your third time here, supporting me. And even I know in the beginning, you were like, oh boy, here we go.
Well, hey, you know what? I've been down the diet trail just as much in my lifetime as you probably had been at that age in your life.
Yeah.
And it's a full-time job being on that train.
It is.
I didn't want to have that job anymore.
No.
But yes, when I heard that plan, I thought it was absolutely insane and not sustainable at all. But I can be wrong.
Yeah.
I can be wrong. I can learn. So but had I not had that experience, I would not have felt the pushes and nudges to continue to break down barriers in my own life and to continue learning. And, Susan Pierce Thompson actually says something along the lines of, when you've been through something so hard, you have so much to give. And I feel very called to that at this point, just like you with sharing these Zoom calls, because this journey is very universal to more people than we realize. I think sometimes it feels very isolating, but it's a very universal journey to many.
And just as your children are watching you, like, I want to do my own Tuesday with, others really are. It's like Lori, she gave me the hope. She did it. Oh my gosh. I maybe can. I'm going to look further. And so you never know who might be hearing your story.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Anyway, I'm going to close again. Good night, everybody. Good night. Stay bright. Thanks, Jenna.
Good night. Thanks for having me.